Hello everyone, welcome to You Can Automate. In this session, we are going to learn about how to automate QR code scanning. In your real-time projects, you would have come across many scenarios where in your application it shows one of the QR code and you need to scan the QR code and you need to go to a URL which is present in the QR code, or you need to do some activities after the QR code scanning. So in this session, we are going to learn about how to use a base 64 for decoding the QR code and how to extract the URL from the QR code, right? So let's begin with the session. Before going to decoding of the QR code, let's understand what is QR code. QR code is a kind of a specific image which has embedded URL or some information, right? Once you scan the QR code, you'll be having some information. Now you might have seen many UPI payment apps, many applications. Now everywhere we have a QR code, right? And when we are working on the real-time applications, we might come across as a QA, we need to automate some of the QR code scenarios as well. So this session will be focusing on that area, how to automate the QR code scanning. So before going to the QR, we need to know some of the libraries. These libraries we'll be using in our automation where we are going to decode the QR code. The first one is a date and time. It is one of the Python library that we are using it for extracting the date and the current time. So why we are using is when we are downloading and saving multiple files, we need to save the file with the specific time so that will not be having any duplicate files. Now the second one is a get screenshot as a base 64. It is used to capture the screenshot of the current screen. In this particular scenario, what we are doing here is whenever the QR code appears, we are using this particular method to take the screenshot of that QR code. So that's why we are using this particular method. And the next one is a base 64, and this particular QR code returns the screenshot in a base 64 encoded string. So now once it returns the base 64 encoded string, we need to use the library called base 64. Now what is base 64 library? It is a binary to text encoding scheme that represents a binary data like images, files, or any other media in an ASCII string. So whenever we are taking a screenshot, we are storing in a base 64 format. So that's why we need to understand base 64 library also. Now the second thing, the last thing is a CV2. It is an open CV library in a Python. It's a powerful tool used for computer vision tasks such as image processing, object detection, video processing, and much more. OpenCV stands for Open Source Computer Vision Library. So in this particular scenario, why we are using OpenCV is we are dealing with the images. When we need to extract the data from the QR code, we are using the CV2 library. And in this CV2 library, we are using one of the class called QR code detector. It is a class in OpenCV is used to detect decode the QR code images. Decode means it will extract the data what is present in the QR. Now how to install this OpenCV? So this is a command given here, pip install OpenCV. By this we can go ahead and install OpenCV library. So how to automate? Sample steps given here. First navigate till you get the QR code screen. Once you get the QR code screen, take the screenshot of the QR code and save it. Save it using a date and time format so that you will not be having a duplicate files. After that, use a CV2 library for decoding the image which we have saved and fetch the URL. So once we get the URL, it is easy task. We can just use a driver and open the browser in our mobile application and we can navigate to that URL. So these are the steps at high level we are going to do it. So let's jump to our coding session now. The first thing we need to do is we need to install the OpenCV library, right? OpenCV library, how we will install? Pip install OpenCV Python. Just copy here, go to terminal and paste here. So I have already installed this OpenCV library. So it is saying that already installed. This is a simple command we need to follow it. Okay, once we install this OpenCV library, we can create one utility class to scan the QR code and return the URL. I'm going to create a Python file called QR code helper. In this file, I'm going to create a class called QR code helper. And here this class will have a constructor to receive the driver. Similarly, how we have done in the previous session, the same way. This constructor will have a driver, and whatever the driver it is coming, I'm just assigning to local driver here. Now I need to create one folder called downloads to save all the screenshots in one of the directory called downloads. Going to create a directory here, downloads. So now let's start with the method which reads the QR code and returns the URL. Take screenshot and return the URL. First, we need to define the path, right, where our screenshot should store. So I'm creating a path variable here, and I'm using this format string. In this format string, I'm going to provide a root directory. Where I will have a root directory is, if you go to our previous code, here we have referred the root directory. We can just copy this root directory here. So use this root directory. This will give the project path, the project folder path, whatever we have, it will give that. After that, I need to point it to a download folder. Just put a slash downloads. The next thing is we need to create the timestamp, right? We need to save the screenshot with a timestamp. For that, we need to use date and time. Date and time dot date and time. We need to format it. What format we need to do? Again, get the date time dot now will give you a current time, and what format we want is, we want format in year, month and hour. Put a double quotes here. So what we are doing here is we are extracting the current time, comes with the seconds, and it will also tell you the date and year also. You want to format that entire value, whatever comes in a year, hyphen, month, date, and followed by hour, minute and second. So this date value, whatever comes, I want to save it in one of the variable called timestamp. So now I will take the screenshot of the current screen, whatever it is. So what I have done in my device is, so this is one of the URL where I can generate the QR code. So you can use any website here. Just to demo purpose, I have used this QR code generator .com to generate the QR code. We can add the URL here. So I have added like google.com, and I've just downloaded this particular QR code and have got this QR code file. So demo purpose, have created this QR code. You can use a real-time application and the QR code what you get in your application. Now I need to take this particular screenshot of this QR code. Whatever I am seeing here device, I need to take the screenshot of that. So to take the screenshots, I will use the self.driver. By using a driver, I can take the screenshot. So how do I do that? Get screenshot. So this is a method which will take the screenshot whatever is appearing in the screen, and I will save it in one of the variable here. And this screenshot, whatever comes, it will be in a format of base64, and I'm saving it with that particular name. After that, I need to decode this base64 code, whatever I'm getting in this screenshot. I will do base64. I will use the library called base64 here, and by using base64, I want to decode it. Base64 decode. So whatever the screenshot which I have got, I want to decode that by using a base64 decode, and I want to save it in one of the variable called image64 decode. So now once I have the decoded image, I will give some time here just to wait for till it decodes, that is 2 seconds. After that, whatever the decoded image I have got, I want to save that in one of the file in the downloads path. So I will open one file. So which path I want? I want this particular path, right? I want to save my file in this. So use this variable here, and followed by I want to save with this timestamp, because each time I want to save the file with a unique timestamp so that it will not be duplicated. So this is the path of the file. After that, followed by I want to provide the timestamp of it. Now my file will be in a format of PNG, and here what is the mode I want to open the file with? Write with binary. W means write and binary, and here I want to save this in image result. So I have opened the path and I have given the instance of that opened path to this particular file object, and I need to use this file object and write my decoded image here. I will use image result dot write, and in this I will use this one. So I have opened the file with this particular timestamp and this particular mode, that is write binary, and I have created an instance of it. By using this instance, I am directly writing this image 64 decoded image. Now once I save the screenshot in this download path, I need to read it. I need to extract the URL from it. So to extract the URL from it, as we have discussed, we will be using a library called cv2, right? So this is a library I'm going to use, cv2.imread, and this will take the path of the file. So what is the path of the file here? This is the path of the file. F means format, and this whatever I am reading, I am storing in one of the variable called image. Now to decode this, to extract the URL, I need to create one object called decoder. So I will use cv2.QR code detector so that it will detect the QR code, and I'll create an object for it, detector. By using this QR code detector, I will be extracting my URL from the QR code. So now use the above detector object. So there is a one method called detect and decode. For this detect and decode, I'll be passing a image. Whatever the QR code I have it, I'll be passing it. So this will return three things. One is the data, that is what is the URL or what data which is there in the QR code, it will return that. The next thing it will return is a PTS, that means the coordinates, what coordinates of the entire image, like what is X coordinates, Y coordinates, those detail it will return. The third thing is entire QR code. We can use it whatever we want. We are interested only in this part, that is data. That means the URL which is there in this QR code, or the information what is there in this QR code. Now I want to return this data. To summarize, what this function is doing is it is taking the screenshot of the QR code of the application in the application, and by using a base 64, it is decoding that image and saving in one of the variable, and that variable we are writing into one of the file that is residing in this downloads path. So after saving the file into downloads path, we are using cv2 library to read that path again, and by using a class called QR code detector, it will go and detect the QR code, and it will provide us three data. One is the data, that is the information what is there in that QR code, the coordinates and the actual QR code. And as we have seen here, the QR code, what data I have put it in this QR code is www.google.url, just some information, some URL, so that I can launch the google.com in the Safari browser. Okay, so this is my QR code. Now by using this data, whatever comes, right, I want to open the Safari browser and navigate to a google.com. I'm going to test folder, create one test, new test class, Python file, creating a class again here, test QR code. So here I'm creating a method for my test case, QR code read, test read QR code and navigate to URL. So then now let's copy the first line of code where we are creating a driver here. First I'll get the driver here. After that I will be using this QR code helper. I'll use this class, import this. By using a QR code, this requires a driver. By using this QR code helper, I want to take the screenshot. I'll be calling this particular method which will return me a URL, that is google.com. So once it returns the URL, I need to use that URL and launch that particular URL in the Safari browser. So to first launch the URL in the Safari browser, I need to activate that browser. In the driver instance, we have a method called activate app. This activate app, we need to provide which app we need to activate. In our mobile application, we have Safari browser, right? I want to open the Safari browser and then I want to navigate to URL whatever is coming here. To navigate to Safari browser, I need to provide the Safari browser bundle ID. What is the Safari browser bundle ID is com.apple. It will be same in most of the areas. So whatever mobile you will be using, it will be same. So I'll be mentioning mobile Safari here, and after that driver.get URL. So this is our test case. We run in debug mode. So it has launched the Amazon application. Now assume that we have got the QR code in our application. Now I'll continue here. It will take the screenshot of this QR code, open the Safari, and it has gone to the www.google.com. This information we have got from the QR code. This is how we'll be automating the QR code test scenario, extracting the data from QR code, making use of it in our automation. So try this and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.